is our fourth trip to Vietnam since 2009. We go to the Lam Dong province in the Central Highlands, to a small city named DaLat. This is the education and community part of our trip. Our 2012 group consisted of Narelle, Diane and Gary. Lisa was with us for the first week, and Mark and Ingo were taking pictures as well as joining in activities and helping on market trips. Everyone worked really well together and were able to adapt to the differing needs of each community we worked in with great enthusiasm. This was also true of our interpreters, who were there with us every step of the way. Without them, we would not be able to achieve anything. We were busy every day with English classes, activity classes, meetings, or market trips. We started off at the Lam Dong Blind Association. This is a residential community of blind and partially blind people aged 5 to 50 plus years. This was our fourth visit since 2009, and we have worked with the principal, Mr. Trung, each time. There had been some changes since our last visit, largely due to their increasing massage business. They also now wear a white coat as a uniform. To help them with the growing business, we replaced their old and rather small washing machine with 2 new larger machines to cope with laundering more sheets and towels. Several of the people in my group work as masseurs, and they were wanting to learn how to speak English instructions to clients who did not speak Vietnamese. So I suspect anyone listening to our class would have wondered what we were doing.
Please show me the way. Please remove your clothes.
And lie face down.
And lie face down.
On the bed.
On the bed.
Meanwhile, Diane and Gary worked with another younger group. It did not take them long, however, to learn simple songs and games. Their confidence and participation increased greatly over our time there. As usual, they were very welcoming. It was good to see many new faces and great to catch up with old friends. And of course, there is always their music. Our next stop is Happiness House. This is an endearing little home for blind and or mentally, behaviourally challenged children, aged from about 5 to 17 years. This was our third annual visit to this group, and Sister Quinn, the principal, has been there each time. When we arrived, we saw that some children were doing school homework, whilst others were threading small beads together to make trinkets and keychains that they can sell. We went there each afternoon to do various activities with them. This gives their carers some much-needed relief time. The children have a great sense of fun and are happy to join in. We also take them each year on an outing to have ice cream. They always sing many songs, and we were asked to contribute. However, this is something I think we need to practice a little bit more. We go to the markets with Sister Quinn to purchase food, clothing, and other needs that they may have. We asked her about larger items, and she said a microwave and a clothes dryer, which will enable them to earn some extra money from taking in laundry. Next we move on to Camley Minority Children's Home. This is a home where children from minority families stay during the school year. There are 54 different minority people or ethnic groups throughout the country, and they are the poorest in Vietnam. These children would not be able to go to school if they lived at home, as their families cannot afford the travelling costs. so they stay with the nuns at Camlee to go to school. The sisters supply board, food, uniforms and school supplies. They were very proud of one of their older students who had just qualified to be a teacher. It was great to see. We support their mission in providing education opportunities for the poor and help them where we can. We have had 3 annual visits here and have developed a good relationship with the principal, Sister Dow, and her deputy, and the children. There is always a warm welcome for us when we arrive. We were then shown the new water bore that Mesh had paid for. This came about after several discussions with them about their needs and continued development, and a reliable water supply was top of the list. The bore had been finished the week before, and it was steadily filling the 2 blue water tanks. The water from the well is not for drinking, but for cleaning, laundry and sanitation. This will greatly lessen their dependence on town water. They use segments of the bore core to line their walkway, to remember their Australian friends. Sister Dow managed to include some extras in the budget, such as raising the ceiling and adding windows to the sleeping areas, which were dark and stuffy before. A new dining area was also created, and we purchased new tables and chairs from the markets to replace the old furniture. The shopping list contained the usual food, clothes and groceries, and they were already being delivered by the time we got back. 1/2 ton of rice is delivered by a few bike trips. We had a donation from their sister school students at Newcastle East Public School to give them. They will use this to replace all their broken desks. We had letters to exchange between the 2 schools. There is always great excitement when we bring the letters, and the children are eager to reply. A gift of soccer shirts was also greatly appreciated. The Pagoda Orphanage is a Buddhist orphanage that was introduced to us by Mr. Bao from the Red Cross on our 2011 trip. The children here are very engaging. We ask them for a shopping list and take them to market. The ice cream is a rare treat. We were pleased to see that there had been some improvements in their situation from last year. They now have more help with looking after the children, as last year there was only an elderly head nun and a young novice to look after about 27 primary-aged children. This year they have 3 more nuns and a cook. They treated us to a wonderful lunch and a song. Mercy House for Street Children is a Red Cross group that helps children who work on the streets of DaLat. They sell lottery tickets or beg for money to help their families. The organisation tries to encourage the children to attend school in the afternoons, and they also feed them 1 or 2 meals a day. We bought 50 school jackets to go with the school uniforms that we purchased last year. We left an agreed amount of money to supply fresh food for the next 5 months. Since our return, Mr. Bao, the coordinator from the Red Cross, has sent us photographs of the children at some of the meal times. It is hard for us to see just how young some of these children are. Another project we became involved in is a Red Cross preschool at DaLat. This looks after the young children of minority families in the area so that their parents can go to work. They had been without working toilets for over 18 months. So after much consultation on their future needs with Mr. Bao, the teachers and the builder, we agreed to pay for a new toilet block. And the finished bathroom was quite impressive. These new facilities have enabled the kindergarten to continue to use the building and to increase their numbers in the future. Working in the community health area was Dr. Milton Sales, his wife Maureen, who is a nurse, and their daughter Amy, who is also a doctor. They visited the same communities that the education group went to. They provided health checks and education and instruction on how to recognise and treat ear infections. Medicines are given and dental checks are carried out. These checks revealed a very poor level of dental health amongst these communities, and this prompted the Red Cross to follow up by organising a dentist to treat the problems. News spread of their visits, and many extras turned up on the day of the clinics. It was a very busy time. This service is greatly appreciated, as healthcare and medicine can be beyond the reach of many in Vietnam. Leaving is always hard to do, as we are welcomed so warmly into their lives. We continue to be humbled by their generosity of spirit and quiet dignity. Friendships have grown over the years of our visits, and new friends have been made. They have little, but they give us small presents of things that they have made. This gentleman named Coy gave us a gift of 2 of his poems. They were about being blind. This touched us all. Vietnam for us is an experience enriched by people. People we meet in DaLat, and people in Australia who generously support us. We could not do this otherwise. We say thank you. We have been invited to return, and we will continue to look for ways to help them towards a better life.